So this here is the Hawke Grille from American Modified. Now, full disclosure, they did send this out to me in exchange for my full and honest review, and I intend to give you guys just that. When I brought it up to my wife, she got extremely excited. It's one of the first things she wanted to do to the Gladiator when we got it. And after thinking about it and after picturing it in my mind, I honestly think it might not look bad. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this box so we can see what's inside. And then we will proceed to throw it on the Gladiator and see how she looks. All right, let's get her going. So right off the bat, obviously we have the grill. I do like the amount of packaging that actually is used to hold this in place. So this is just a matte black plastic, and I'm sure you could just paint it whatever color you want. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of the black and white. My bumpers are black, my winch is pretty much black. So it'll be a nice contrast between light and dark, and it might actually look pretty decent. Now, these do have the lights on the inside. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to wire them up yet, but I haven't read the instructions yet, and I haven't looked at pretty much anything else. I mean, so far it seems pretty sturdy. We also have this nice bit of weather stripping here. I don't know where this goes yet, but I will figure it out. We also get our little LED light controller here, as well as some additional hardware like the clips. The most important thing are the clips, because a lot of times they break if you're trying to reuse the originals. So they give you a bunch of new clips, that way you can install the new grill. And then to top it all off, we do have our nice little destruction packet here. And it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to install this grill. I mean, other than that, there's really not much to it. So, let's go slap it on the Jeep. So, before we install this new grill, we actually need to completely remove the factory grill here. It's really easy. It's not as intimidating as it seems. Just be careful. This is all plastic, and if you want to retain this for the future or hang on to it, just be careful when you're pulling it off that you don't put too much stress in any one area, because it might cause damage. But it actually is really flexible and it's really easy to remove, and I'm going to show you guys how right now. So the very first thing you need to do is go ahead and pop up your hood. You are able to prop it up. The hood prop will not get in the way of you removing and installing the new grill. But if you do want to flip your hood all the way up to the top, it will give you a lot more room to move around, and the hood prop will not get in the way. My snorkel does not allow me to flip the hood all the way up, so I'm just going to deal with my hood prop being a little bit in the way. So with our hood up, we need to remove these pins right here. There should be 6 of them, 4 in the center, and then 1 off to each side. Now these are fairly easy to remove. You can just pry up underneath the center piece here with a screwdriver, or with a trim removal tool like this here. And then once that center portion is popped up just like that, you can go ahead and get underneath the rest of it, and it should just pry right out. And this is what it looks like when it's out. You got the center pin up, and then this will come out. If you do not lift up this center piece first, what happens is when this is pushed down, it pushes the sides out, and that's what locks it into place. So there is no way to remove these without sliding that up without breaking them. And once again, there are 6 of them, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the other 5 out, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now, with all of those clips removed, the next step is really simple. It just kind of pulls off. If you already have a winch installed, it might be a little more difficult because it does kind of get in the way, but we still have a little bit of room to just pry it back. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reach on down below, and you can see that it is pretty loose right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop it. And you can see that it is extremely loose now because all that holds it in is some clips. Now, if you are getting hung up on the top here, it is helpful just to lift up on this top piece just a little bit, and you can see that it definitely broke completely free. Anyway, slowly work your way from one side to the other, popping up underneath. Just kind of grab onto it and pop it out. Continue that all the way to the other side, and then the grill should just lift right out. And now I just need to clean this up so I can have some new wall art. So now, before we move any farther, there is some prep work we have to do to the new grill, including putting the new clips on these tabs. It does give you new clips in the kit, so just go ahead. If I can get the bag open. So just go ahead and slide these clips over the tabs. Just like that. Continue to do that for the rest of the tabs. So next up, looking at the top of the grill right here, we are going to have these tabs. If you look at the original grill, it's really easy to tell. Just kind of match it up to the original grill, how it would line up. And then once you do, these tabs go right underneath, and then you can use the provided hardware to secure them in place. And then you just need to repeat that on the other side. Alright, so the next step before we actually install the grill is we need to take care of our wiring. For my power input, I'm going to be tapping into fuse number 52, and I'll show you guys exactly how I'm going to do that in just a second. And then what we need to do is we need to tap in to our left and right blinker with the yellow wire here. And I will show you guys what my plan is for that right now. Now, right back here behind the light in this fender area right here, we've got the harness, and I'm going to go ahead and tap into the white and green wire on this harness right here. And then to tap into fuse number 52, I have this tap right here. This is the tap that came in my Voss switch that I installed here recently. If you want to check out that video, you can go ahead and click right up here. Either way it goes, this is what I'm going to use to run my power for my control unit. I'm just going to tap into fuse number 52, poke it through, and then route my wiring. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of all of my wiring real quick. And once it's done, I will show you guys exactly where I ran everything and how I mounted the control box. And that'll be right now. So this here is that fuse tap I was talking about. I'll go ahead and put a link to one of these down in the description below as well. But we can follow our wire along. Kind of runs along next to some of my other wiring. It goes down, around, and then it pokes right out the front here next to where my intake used to pick up before I installed the snorkel. If you want to check out the snorkel video, you can click the link right up there. But if you do have the intake on, you can always come right through the side on this side. There is plenty of room, and I just mounted my little controller right there as well. Also, if you have the intake here, you can just mount this up right up here out of the way. And then I tied into the signal where I was showing you guys just a moment ago on either side. I ran my wires up and along, across, and then down. Here's my plug. And then I went straight through the side right here, the same as on that other side where I was saying you could run your wires. And then just tapped into that. For the ground for the unit, I just put a connector on it and grounded right underneath it, right to this bolt for this stabilizing piece right here. And now all that's left is to slap the grill on. So at this point, the grill should pop on really easy. Just get it lined up where the original one was. And then with some light pressure on the front, you should be able to just push these tabs into the locking holes here. Make sure that you try to plug in your wires before you slap it all the way in there. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard and you're going to kind of have to pull it back a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and stab this in here real quick, and then I'll show you guys the final step. And now that it's on, we can go ahead and install all our little push clips. They do give us new ones. And then now that all of that is done, the last thing to do would be to install our weather stripping here. It just has some 3M double-sided tape on the back of it. And we're just gonna go ahead and slap it on up here. And just like that, it is all done, installed. And I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look half bad. Now, I did run into 2 issues I wanted to share with you guys. My winch had plenty of room to remove the old grill, but to put the new one on, the shape of it just made it very difficult to get it in place. So I ended up removing my winch, setting it off the side, then installing the grill, as you can see in that last clip, and there's no interference. It just didn't have enough room to stick out to be able to drop down and pop those clips in while the winch was in place. The second issue I have is this weather stripping. The 3M does not stick. I don't know if it's heat, if it's dust. I did wipe it down before I stuck it down. I don't know what I'm going to do about that just yet, whether I'm going to get some new double-sided tape or if I just want to go ahead and run some screws through it underneath to hold it in place. That way it's never coming off. I'm also not that big a fan of the fact that this styrofoam piece here, while it is removable, all you got to do is pull that tab, a tab over here, and it has a little bit of double-sided tape on it, is not exactly designed into the new grill. But they do have a pre-drilled hole here and nothing over here. So my plan is I'm going to go ahead and line this up on that hole right there and go ahead and drill myself a new hole on this side. That way I can just stick it down with those clips. It'll tuck in there tight. This does seal up tight to the hood, so I'm surprised that they did not have a plan for reattaching this to the new grill. Other than that, this thing is pretty awesome. It is plastic, so it might scratch really easy. I have already scratched mine from where I was throwing it around in the garage, but that's all right. It's a Jeep. So I really like how the white LEDs match the halo and the way it just, it looks like it all kinds of goes right in line into the loop there. Now, I've never been one for angry eye grills, but this grill right here is so cool. And let me show you real quick what else it does. Now remember, we wired them into the blinkers as well, so check this out. Right there is the driver's side blinker, and it shuts the LED light off, and now we have an amber blinker pointing in the direction of our intended move. And not only does it work with the left and right blinker, but it works with the hazards as well. It almost kind of gives it like that kit car thing, you know, from Knight Rider. I really like it. And I cannot wait to see what these things look like after dark. So overall, this grill definitely gets a thumbs up from me. If you're interested in it or you want to check out any of the other products American Modified has, make sure you click the link down in the description below. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As always, don't forget to subscribe down there. You can check me out on Instagram at It's Project Venture, as well as the Tickety Talk at It's Project Venture. Thanks for watching.